Okay. This is a podcast, and apparently we're doing this on a different platform this time. So if it sounds like hot garbage, it's completely our fault, 100%, and it has no effect to your internet connection because right now, I think everybody's internet's having a little issue. There's not enough internet to go around for the planet, and we're wasting it with this podcast. So thanks for listening. It's the Chunk Podcast. You're here, and for you guys can't see this yet because we're working on something behind the scenes, but we can see each other's faces right now. We traditionally in the past have just done the audio format because this is a podcast. But we can see each other right now as Nikki flicks me off. It's how it goes. This is how we do it here. Nikki, we got Vince, we got David, we got Reggie, we have myself, Justin, and I know all that because I can see their names on the screen and it's easy to read. If I didn't have their names on the screen, I wouldn't know who they are. But they're here, and we're here to kind of catch you up on the sports, what's going on in the real world. And guys, come on, we're not 5 years old. If you guys could only see what's going on here, I don't understand what's happening. But we're here. It's at the Chunk Pod. You can find us on all social media, blah, blah, blah. You like us, find us, give us a review if you're in the local iTunes or Apple Podcast area. Okay, we've passed all that. Woo. What we've missed in the last little bit is I tweeted it a few days ago, but not having sports is starting to destroy me. I can't. One of the best parts about being laid off, which a lot of people is happening to a lot of people nowadays, but I was at the forefront at the beginning of the year. I was an early adopter of being laid off in 2020.
I got in early.
I was one of the early ones. And the beauty of it was I got to stay up late watching a bunch of basketball games. I got to watch all the sports. It wasn't an issue for me anymore to have a bedtime. Mm-hmm. And now the sports are gone and I don't have that anymore. But what we do have is some updates that the coronavirus, aka COVID-19, is causing. The Olympics, I don't know if you ever heard of them, but the Olympics, the Summer Olympics, were going on this year. It's a thing. It's this weird thing where like countries, they send their best track and field athletes, whatever kind of athletes you got, to this big area. I don't know if you guys just look up the Olympics. I'm sure you've heard of it, right? You guys have heard of it?
I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's like if you see the movie The Hunger Games, you've watched the Olympics. All right, it's pretty much the same.
There it is. Cool running. Got it.
Cool running.
Cool runnings. Feel the rhythm. Feel the ride.
Feel the
rhythm. Feel the ride. Come on up. It's bobsled time.
That is
cool runnings.
That's an underrated movie.
Underrated
movie.
Underrated.
Very good movie.
Okay.
I've talked about Cool Runnings 3 times this week. I'm not even kidding.
Have you watched it? You got to watch it, man. You got all the time in the world.
But I'm in quarantine, so I have all the time. Yeah,
I think it
coming soon.
I think it is on a streaming platform. I remember like passing it over and being like, "That's one that I'll put in the back of my mind and never go back."
It's a true story too, right?
It is a true story.
Yeah.
It definitely happened. John Candy, definitely did that. Rest in peace. Yes, absolutely. Okay, again. The Olympics, they are not canceled, right? They're not canceled. They're being postponed. So at the very latest, we're going to have the 2020 Summer Olympics in 2021. And I guess from what I'm hearing, they're not going to change the name, obviously. You don't want to keep that strong. It's still going to be the 2020 Olympics in 2021. David, I know you were an aspiring Olympic athlete yourself, and you were this clse. How does this affect you? How does this affect you? I mean, obviously I mean, listen, I like watching the Olympics myself, but mostly because of the basketball. But it affects different people.
I'm not going to say I'm more of I'm not like a bigger Olympic fan than you guys are. Just track and field, you follow athletes specifically more than like, okay, you guys aren't thinking about the Olympic basketball team every single year. Whereas Olympics for me, I mean, it's nice of you to say I was close.
It was very close.
In high school, I thought because I was winning the regional championship that means I could go to the Olympics. But that's just any kid's dream and someone, okay, I'm beating these people. Who says I can't? And then you go to college and you get a quick reality check, and that's fine. My dreams didn't die.
Yeah.
But being someone who, once I started running, I mean, like you said, we're dudes. We love sports. Anybody loves sports. And the Olympics, swimming, even beach volleyball, just not just track. I love the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics in general. But being a runner and following athletes, knowing their backgrounds, knowing how they work so hard in college, when COVID-19 became like a thing and things started to get canceled, besides people who got like legitimately affected, Olympians and like athletes were the next people I thought about. That sucks. There's always going to be another basketball season.
Yeah.
It comes up before we like it's over and then it starts again before we even know it. Olympics, that's 4 years, man. You got to think about your training, your injuries. It times up perfectly in your span to, I'm injury free and I peaked at the perfect time. Peaking means in anything, you peak perfectly.
No, I know what peaking. I've been to high school.
Of course you do.
I peaked,
of course.
I peaked many a time.
Yeah. In training, it's similar to anything. Someone gets hot in baseball in the baseball playoffs.
Yeah.
Or they get hot in basketball. Olympics, that window is just so small. I'm not going to play you a song on the world's tiniest violin, but I just feel terrible.
Yeah.
I just feel I'm crushed.
Yeah,
really,
I understand.
And
I was happy to see that they weren't just going to cancel it, and then it was just, it was going to be 8 years between what was actually going on.
Oh my God.
That would have been insane. But the fact that they're dedicated to actually putting it on at some point, there's going to be another summer next year. So, hopefully by then, if it's not cleared up by then I don't know if the Olympics is going to be the most of our worries at that point. But
yeah. My question is two things. There's one good thing is that with stories that let's say I'm a 5,000 meter runner. That was my favorwhat. It's 3.1 miles, a 5K, a 5K. Yeah,
it's over 9,000.
5,000 meter foot race. That's what they call it in the Olympics. Let's say I was aspiring to be that. I was training hard this year to go to the trials that are in June. They're going to be held in Oregon. Were going to be held in Oregon. And I'm feeling perfect, and obviously gets canceled. And then next year I get injured. That sucks, obviously. But then there are going to be a lot of crazy stories of somebody right now who they're injured now. They have this time to recover. It sucks. It totally sucks. But that's one side. And then the other is, I don't know. And I've been doing some research. Things are changing every single day, but I don't know if they're going to pick the Olympics back up they're probably going to pick it back up in 2024. So that's going to be 3 years from the Olympics. They're not going to go to 2025.
No, they want to keep it.
It's 3 years.
They're going to keep it in that same frame. That's why they're not going to change the name from 2020 to 2021. Because that will reset it officially. But as Reggie just rolls over in his bed and gives us the full view,
I was
much
stretching.
appreciated.
That
I
Jamal
love this
Murray.
video thing.
Yes, Reggie, by the way, we're talking about the Olympics, and I don't really have any. I like watching the Olympics. I also love using the Olympics as a tool to decide fantasy football draft orders, and not having that where we would randomly assign a country and then the medal count would decide the draft order. That's one of my favorite ways to do it.
That would have been fun. That would have been great.
So now I got to try to find another way this year, if there's even a football season.
If there's any sports to even do that with, who knows?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So we can figure out a different way. But obviously not seeing the Olympics. The basketball team was a big thing because I was happy to see the preliminary finalists of who could potentially make the team, and there were 5 Celtics on the team. On the preliminary team. So I was like, all right, this is going to be pretty sweet. Shout out to Marcus Smart. He's the best player in the league. By the way,
coronavirus?
Marcus Smart, COVID-19 survivor right now. He's fighting through.
Survivor.
He's still alive, as far as I know.
Did you know that skateboarding was going to be this year? First year ever. And tons of others. They add, but that would have been sick.
Yeah, Tony
Hawk is pissed. They don't want skateboarding in the Olympics. They put out Corona.
That's the whole reason why coronavirus is a thing.
Stay woke.
To get skateboarding. Stay woke.
I mean,
Nikki,
all the horseback riders.
It just happened to really kick in somewhere right after the NFL season, but during the XFL, who knows? Maybe the NFL's behind it.
Roger
Goodell.
They
don't want them to be taking all their thunder.
I wouldn't put it past Roger Goodell. He's a slime ball. I just I would not put it past Roger Goodell. But so listen, I'm still looking forward to the Olympics. Obviously next year, hopefully. This does not affect that. That's a whole nother world we'll be living in when that time comes around, and if it's still a problem. But according to some people I've heard, they wouldn't be shocked if a cure for this virus comes out of thin air and we're done here abruptly. So who knows?
By Easter.
Who knows?
I've got thoughts on that too. Yeah.
I mean, that's
look what I found under my bed. The cure for Corona.
Whoa.
Wow, the whole time.
It was here the whole time.
Okay. Obviously, a lot of people are affected. There's a lot of athletes. Obviously, you guys watched the Karl Anthony Towns video of him and his mom. Yeah. That's tough to watch.
Shit.
It's really rough to watch.
It's tough to watch. It was a 5-minute video on Instagram of him talking about the process and what he's been going through with his mom, and it's affecting a lot of people, and it's easy to. I see so many people on my Facebook feed, which I see less and less of nowadays because I wonder why I'm even friends with them on Facebook. Which I'm not petty, but I'm to that point in my life now where I'm like, I don't want to see this trash anymore. But the people who are like the flu argument, where he's like, hey, have you heard of the flu? I mean, come on. Yeah, we've heard of it. It's okay. This is not the flu. This is something totally different. And no matter how it started, it's affecting people in different ways, and it's affecting everything. I mean, obviously, that's the whole reason why we're here talking about the sports that's being affected. What is not being affected, though, is the NFL. Still, obviously, they're like Nikki said, it's the off season for them. They're still doing business as usual. They're signing players. Tom Brady is a Buccaneer. The world is going insane. It's very strange. Obviously, that's going to be very weird to see. What's weird is I haven't actually seen. Has anybody heard him like comment on it? Did they have like a press conference or anything? Like,
no, not yet.
I've seen memes. That's about it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of memes going on. But I think that I saw that somebody was talking to him about like Robert Kraft and like was trying to get him to say some crap. But that's a whole nother thing. There are other QB stuff going on. The NFL is like flipping. Like everybody, like all the old heads are moving around or retiring, or they're just it's getting crazy. One of the weirdest off seasons we've ever seen, and it comes at one of the weirdest times we've ever seen. Vince is on this podcast right now. He is a Carolina Panthers fan, and if they're having some
unfortunately,
yeah, they're having some strange turnover there with this whole Cam Newton saga, where Cam Newton, I guess behind closed doors, didn't really make. I mean, it was public, obviously, that he wanted to still be there, and all of a sudden the Panthers released this thing that's like, we have been given permission, or we've given Cam Newton permission to seek a trade, as if that's what he was even asking for, which apparently wasn't. He replied to them saying, I'm not even asking for that. I don't know why you would even say that. And obviously that at that point, Vince, I'm sure you understood that the bridge was burned and he gone.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really challenging being a Panthers fan. Since we got Cam, man, like he was like our saving grace. Like he was the guy that we would always look to, and we're like, oh yeah, Cam's gonna be our MVP every year, and he'll be here. He'll retire. He'll be like the next Aaron Rodgers or something.
Yeah. What's it like going from Hall of Fame quarterback to Hall of Fame quarterback, from Jake Delhomme to Cam Newton? I don't know how you guys. That's no.
I mean,
no, okay.
Jake Delhomme's like one of the greatest of all time. Like
in the state of Carolina.
in Charlotte, everyone says that. But it's definitely challenging, because what I've noticed with the Panthers is we get someone with a strong personality, and then it almost seems like they get blackballed. Like we had Steve Smith, he got traded for like circus peanuts.
Yo, he was loaded though. Like
and he was still good. Yeah. He was still good once they traded him.
Yeah.
Right.
Like 3 years.
Right. And then we had D'Angelo Williams. He did stuff in Pittsburgh, but like, you know, he was nice too. We had Jonathan Stewart too, who also got traded. And who else?
And the next up was Christian McCaffrey. He's next season's probably his last somehow.
Better watch out.
Right.
Man,
and
I love that dude.
Not to mention 4 weeks ago, they were saying that Christian McCaffrey, they might shop him around and then build around Cam.
For what? He's the best player in the league.
Exactly. And that's the
and he's only going to get better. He's only going to get stronger and quicker.
That was the rumors going around in the Charlotte area. Everyone was talking about it, and they're like, oh yeah, well, let's just get rid of Cam. And then it was just like night and day, a switch hit. And then they're like, oh, Cam needs a trade.
I don't understand why they traded, or they got Teddy Bridgewater. Like he's not even
okay. Well, wait a minute.
Better than Cam Newton, is he?
He played 5
like
games
the same level, if not even worse.
Yeah, listen, he's got more upside, I think, at this point in his career. I think. I don't know.
How much? Barely.
Well, you don't know, because that's the thing, is he's not really been, since his injury, which he was projecting to be pretty good, and then his injury obviously took him out. He set him back a few years, and he sat behind Drew Brees.
Is he MVP though? Cam won MVP.
He did win MVP, but so did a lot of players, and then eventually they dropped off.
I don't think Teddy Bridgewater will ever win an MVP. I'm just going to put that out there.
That's fine, but they don't need him to win an MVP. They need him to win football games.
I think it's because of the Yeah, they said that they've been trying to get rid of Cam for at least 2 or 3 years. Because he's been injury prone. It's just they felt like this was the right time, and now that they got Rule as coach, and he's actually coached Teddy Bridgewater before.
I don't think the Panthers are going to be bad though. Like I mean, listen, they're not going to be. I still think the best team in that division is the Saints, I do think that's probably going to be one of the most competitive divisions in the league.
What about
Probably
the
the
Bucks?
most competitive.
TB12.
The Bucks are going to be better. I still, for some reason, think they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. And I think the Falcons, even though they're like the most flaky, they're like the most like when they're on, they're like one of the best teams in the league. I think the Falcons could win that division too. It's if you've seen what they've been doing some big stuff in the offseason too, and obviously
They did. What's his name? Todd Gurley.
They got Todd freaking Gurley. They
They
didn't
do
trade.
have Todd Gurley. That's crazy.
They didn't trade Julio. Like somebody, I remember seeing something that they were thinking about trading him. If they would have done that, that would have been
Stupid.
an L. But
Julio.
I think that's going to be the most competitive division in the league. And I mean, if I had to pick an order, I probably would pick the Panthers last, but I would not be shocked if they were in the running at the end of the season, though, because I still think they're a good team.
I mean, thank you, David. We actually got a receiver from you guys, Robbie Anderson.
Anderson's good.
Anderson's
That's what I'm saying.
I know he's quick, man.
Yeah.
He's I can't say he's a bum because he was like the only wide receiver the Jets have had in like recent memory that I could be like, oh, he scored like 2 touchdowns in a game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
that's
think he's
a gift
good.
to you guys.
As a Packers
he's
fan,
quick.
Yeah. I wanted him as a Packers
He trains
fan.
with Ocho Cinco.
Oh.
Chad Ocho Cinco.
I didn't know
think
that.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Panthers.
For what that's worth.
Again, that division's going to be good. But here's what we're left with is Cam Newton's a free agent right now. Like that's the facts. And what is left out there with Phillip Rivers going to the Colts? Obviously, there's a vacancy in New England after Tom Brady left, and if Phillip Rivers leaving to go to the Colts, the Chargers have. Those are the 2 hot names right now, is the Patriots and the Chargers. Where do you, Vince, obviously he's your boy, where would you rather him wind up? Where do you think he winds up?
I mean, I've been hearing rumors as far as the Raiders and the Bills also. I just feel as if Cam was blackballed. Like, he would have been a better fit anywhere else. But at the end of the day, I want him to go to the Chargers just so that we can see that tandem of, Keenan Allen.
Yeah, and he gets in those powder blues. It's almost Carolina blue, right? It's like,
I mean,
it's pretty
almost,
close.
but I'd love to see him in Atlanta, but that will never happen.
Yeah.
It'd be homecoming.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, they're paying Matt Ryan.
But don't
too
the
much money.
Chargers have like a top 6 pick? Maybe, I think, or something like that.
Well, yeah, but if you could use that on a player that's going to help the team and not just necessarily a quarterback. Like, I don't even really know quarterbacks that are coming in to this draft right now.
I just know Tua and the other guy.
Yeah, Tua and
Joe
Burrow,
Burrow.
right? That's it.
Yeah, Burrow.
So
BD Joe.
Well, he's going to the Bengals. He's going to the Bengals, obviously.
yeah, they pretty much already locked that up. But
Yeah.
Tua going to like Miami makes the most sense to me, I think. But we don't have to do a draft podcast because they're still doing a draft. I think it's coming up in a couple of weeks, but it's not. It's just going to be like all online. I think
In Vegas, it was going to be crazy. You know
Yeah.
what it was going to be?
It always
them
is.
on the boat.
Yeah.
Them on the boat, like in front of like the Bellagio, or don't quote me on that.
Yeah, they had like I
I don't know
remember them.
which-
They showed like the set
something
outside.
crazy.
Yeah, it was gonna look pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
But it's going to be. I don't know if they're doing the boat anymore. But obviously, no live gathering because
Yeah.
it's anti-social distancing. But
Social distancing is so much fun. I agree. The Cam Newton going to the Chargers, I think it would be. I think it makes sense. I think the Chargers are not a bad football team. There's not a lot of really bad football teams. Sorry about the Jets. I think they're on the way up though. But there's
I'm used to it now.
no, they're on the way up, especially with Tom Brady
No, for
leaving.
sure.
With Tom Brady leaving,
Yeah.
they're going to be fine.
Actually, the Jets. Real quick on the Jets, they're not doing anything until Adam Gase gets out of there.
Oh,
I'm
God,
so
he's
tired of
He's the
having
worst
a coach.
coach.
We go from like Todd Bowles was like, he like has no emotion and he's just like a figurehead. He doesn't really do anything. He doesn't do anything bad. He doesn't do anything good. Very middle of the road, which that doesn't win you Super Bowls. That doesn't win you games. Adam Gase was the furthest thing. We have
He's like on crack.
Ryan,
You see his
who's-
eyes?
Dude, I hate that shit. He's weird, man. I don't want weird. Just give me fucking rule. I would have taken him. Give me just like a football guy, like a solid, like, okay, I did well in college. Honestly, I'd rather go 0-16 and have a coach that I like and believe in than go everything we do like freaking 6-10 mediocre bullshit and have this weird ass
Panthers
coach.
next year.
Hot
God,
take.
don't get me heated up.
Panthers next
Yeah,
year.
honestly
6-8.
though, seriously.
Yeah,
No, it's true. I'm the same way.
yeah, I agree. That makes sense.
I don't believe in this weird shit that this guy
He's a
does. He's an
weirdo.
idiot.
His only thing is that he coached Peyton Manning, so they thought he was like the
I don't know how he
smartest
keeps,
quarterback guy.
he keeps getting chances. I don't
He
know.
did horrible in Miami,
Oh yeah.
and then he got I
Destroyed
don't get
that
it.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about the Jets.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Anyway,
that's why I drink, man. That's why I drink in the off season and during the season. It's just a nightmare.
All right, so we talked about the Olympics.
That's why I follow running. I'll say that.
Yeah, we talked about the
fuck's
NFL, and I'd be hard pressed to leave this podcast without talking about Jamal Murray's penis.
Oh, geez.
Just what? I mean, we all didn't
Are we talking about that, or are we talking about what happened around? We don't need to.
No, we're going to talk about every minute detail of Jamal Murray's penis. We all saw it.
I don't recall, so
You don't recall? Okay.
Nikki, you sent me the video of it.
I remember what happened around
17
it. Like
minutes
I
ago.
said, I wasn't looking at the
What?
topic of discussion, whatever.
Oh, the topic of discussion is the one who was hanging around the penis. I thought
The
the topic
phallic
of this.
So
syndrome.
shoot,
This is the
I'm
topic.
following
That's
her
the
on everything I
topic.
can. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is she on Instagram?
I think she deleted her account.
Yeah,
so
she deleted all
for
her
people
stuff.
who don't understand, we said the word penis and we didn't really address the situation. Jamal Murray, Denver Nuggets guard, he's an NBA player. He's been practicing social distancing, but apparently not very well. He was he
True,
went
that's the real crime.
he went on Instagram. Was it Instagram story or did he go live?
His story.
Instagram.
He went-
Oh, I thought it was
I
live.
thought it was live.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
If
I don't
it's
know.
live, that's even worse because
was
you
live.
get a specific notification if you're a
Notification,
follower.
That's what they were.
That's like,
yeah.
hey, your favorite NBA player Jamal Murray is live. Let's
Gus, Gus,
let's
Gus,
check
every
it out.
live-
Every kid,
I
every
think
kid.
it was story. I think it was story.
Okay,
It
all
was
right.
screen recorded though.
Oh, somebody did. Yeah, I mean, it was up there, so people obviously saw it. But for people who don't know what happened, somehow, and he swears he got hacked after the fact, like everybody else that this happens to, or any kind of weird act happens to on social media. He apparently got hacked, but it was a point of view shot of
POV.
it's a
boy.
POV of his privets, and he had a guest down there just hanging out with the privets. So
He needs to
mean,
get
it's his
sponsored by
girlfriend, though.
Manscaped or something.
Yeah, it was his girl.
and
It's his
honestly,
girlfriend.
yeah, okay, that's fine. That's good. Then they're together. They're probably quarantining and they're doing some other stuff. But that's fine.
Netflix and chilling.
Yeah, well, there was no chill going on. I can promise you that. But
There's no Netflix either. I didn't see Netflix in the background.
yeah, it wasn't on Netflix either. But anyway, a lot of the memes and stuff that came out of this were absolutely hilarious, and they all kind of pertained to not specifically the penis, but the wow. This is I don't even know how we got here. This is very
I'm curious to
graphic.
see where you're going with this.
The pubic hair. Let's talk.
Ah,
It's
Let's talk pubes.
listen. I am not I'm not a black
Yeah,
man.
say it.
All right, I'm not a black man. I don't have.
Wait,
I-
what?
I'm borderline a ginger, and I cannot relate to that style of pubic hair, except for when I have friends
Should
come
we all
over.
talk about each of our own situations and how we handle it?
Yes, I would like to hear specifically
Let's
from
do
you
it.
guys.
All right.
How patchy
All
is
right.
your pubic hair, and how can you relate? I can't do it with a straight face. I can't. Nikki's over here
I mean-
like trying to check it. What is this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, normally I just tie a do-rag around it and just call it a day.
That's it.
You do what?
yeah.
I'm kidding, bro.
How does that even
I
work?
put a yarmulke on mine.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
yo, I dread mine out, bro. What you
Okay,
mean?
okay, no, but seriously, the memes were, it was a little patchy. It was like Kevin Durant's hair. If you've
That was funny. That was funny.
You see, there were memes like that were close-ups of Kevin Durant's hair. If you haven't seen that, just type in Kevin Durant's hair. It's a little splotchy. But listen, it's not for me to decide. I mean, I have my own head of hair, and it's a little different. But if you guys have any comments, I don't know what was wrong. I mean, I can't comment on that. Would you like to comment on another man's pubic hair?
Unkept.
Nah.
It was very unkept. I'll say that. But his
Who's
girlfriend
not
did
in those
mind a
situations?
damn
You don't
thing.
always keep it up 100% of the time. Sometimes you just, you got things going on.
Okay.
That was funny.
Okay. All right. Vince is now.
You know?
This doesn't work well on a podcast, but there's a meme being shown amongst us that's provided a giggle. Anyway, listen. It was obviously there's a lot going on, and the best part about it was I saw on the NBA's Instagram account the next day. Portland Trailblazers guards, the tandem of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, were on kind of talking to each other, and they're just having a conversation. I don't even know what it was about. It was like some innocuous thing that was nothing related to it. But CJ McCollum decided to start reading the comments because he was holding the camera a little bit lower and it was showing his chin hair. And somebody said, hey, yo, it was either your chin hair or your chin pubes look like Jamal Murray's. And he read it out loud. And obviously made Damian Lillard uncomfortable. But they started laughing about it. And it's pretty funny if it's out there on the internet.
This league.
It's
they're bored. They haven't been playing. What do you want them to do? They
Oh my
gotta talk
God.
about whatever's happening.
Sure, they're very bored.
Yeah.
the worst part about this, and it's not the worst part. Obviously, the dying is the worst part, but the celebrities and the athletes that are on the internet right now, just trying to stay relevant or trying to.
Right.
I see what they're doing, and I get the sing-alongs and all that stuff. It's cool. It's fun. I just when I watch it, I cringe. It's
some of
so
those.
cringy.
The thing is, nobody cares about them personally unless they're doing the thing we pay them to do. Outside of that, they're not that interesting.
They're just weird people.
Yeah.
Really, like,
Yeah.
this is not even close to a flex, and me even saying that sounds like it is, but I never get a chance to say this type of stuff. I've been around a couple famous people, like famous rappers, like in my new job. Dude, they're just freaking people.
Yeah.
I know that's not a secret, but there's especially really, really, really big time celebrities. They're even the bigger you are, the weirder you are. Because the further away from reality you are.
Yeah.
And there was that one video, the sing along of a bunch of them singing "Imagine" by John Lennon. That was the worst video I've ever seen in my life.
And it was
it was like they were like a mockery of the song or some shit.
And it didn't. It
weird to me.
Yeah, it wasn't like beautifully done, but it was to provide the message that hey, it's okay. We're all people. We're coming together in our mansions, and we're
oh my God.
But obviously, listen, they're on that was what they thought was right at the time, and sure, if they wanted to do it, that's fine. But the praise it's getting, and like I don't know, I'm just kind of I watch it and I'm just like, oh, you can just see like the some of them were just like a little flippant with it, where I was like, okay, yeah, obviously they got that it was weird, but the ones that were like belting it out and like over singing, like trying to like this was their like audition on American Idol.
Why were they doing it?
Exactly.
No reason other than look, literally, Justin kind of touched on it.
Yeah.
We're all inside of our mansions, and we're in quarantine singing together.
Yeah.
If you're a celebrity and you don't like have a movie you're filming, or you're literally just chilling anyways.
Yeah.
It really changes nothing.
Yeah.
In their lives.
It
really doesn't.
It's been very interesting. A lot of people are picking up the TikTok. A lot of NBA players are getting on there doing, their thing, which is, again, to each their own. That's fine. Twitch, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you got a lot of time and you have, I'm assuming, a following. People would want to watch people play video games. I don't. That's entertaining, I guess.
Yeah. People have been watching Ben Simmons like crazy.
Yeah.
I heard because TikTok is owned by China.
Uh-oh.
That they might have released this just to give them TikTok even more. They woke.
TikTok COVID. TikTok COVID.
Mm-hmm. That's Nikki. He knows. That's Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki, what do you think?
About what?
About the TikTok corona.
Is there a connection between TikTok?
Yes, TikTok is a Chinese thing.
I don't know. No idea. What do you think?
What's a tic-tac?
So wait, are we saying
a tic-tac?
Are we saying COVID-19 has been created just to boost the numbers on TikTok because people are
I'm
not
not saying
home
it's
to
not.
make
I'm just saying
content?
TikTok is owned by China. That's what I'm saying.
Well, so is a lot of things. So is
China.
So are the products we're using to make this podcast. I'm just saying it's a thing. I mean that's.
Oh yeah.
COVID-19 specifically is designed to boost Blue Yeti sales. Because don't two of us have Blue Yeti? You have a Yeti?
Yeah, it's a lot of people. You know what's weird is like the weirdest part about this, and I tweet about like having, like I'm glad I have this set up right now, like that we were able to do this. But a lot of like this big celebrities are using Blue Yetis, and there's no problem with it. Obviously, it's a good microphone, but like the fact that they don't have like studios, like broadcasters don't have like home studios that they could like work from home in. I don't know. That's weird to me that they don't have that ready to go for their people. I don't know.
The entire bar. Oh yeah, it's at the office. The entire Barstool crew uses Blue Yetis when they're like doing stuff from home.
Yeah,
it's like soup. It's literally this.
Yeah,
I know Barstool's like they're a multi-million-dollar company, $100 million company.
You know who we need?
Or no, like $400 million.
Yeah. They're big. You know who we need to be going after though, is Zoom. Which, by the way, we're using Zoom right now. This is not a paid advertisement, but Zoom usage has gone up. I'm sure like 1,000% because of social distancing and not obviously not seeing each other in person. This is how we get to hang out. But yeah, this is. I don't know. I just gave them some money.
That was some money. To talk about some good stuff, did you know what Drew Brees is doing? Like, he's not doing sing-alongs. Him and his wife pledged to raise $500 million. No, $5 million.
Five. I was like
for the
half a
state-
billion.
Yeah, my bad.
Damn.
Yeah, $5 million for the state of Louisiana to fight coronavirus. That's
Corona.
good things. Yeah, good things
Okay.
in the media.
Okay.
I like Drew Brees.
All right.
good dude.
And Jeff Bezos is asking for other people to
Did you see that?
pay for
What kind of out of
Amazon's
touch?
This
This dude's the richest dude in the world. He's got like $100 billion, and he's asking his employees to like, hey, could you pitch in?
Oh,
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a
That's
GoFundMe
fucked.
to help the Amazon employees, even though he is the richest human with like hundreds of billions of dollars.
$100 billion.
Yeah,
He went through a
150 something.
divorce and was still the richest.
That's impressive.
You know,
That's a
he
feat.
went through a divorce and still is the richest person.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's all I have written
Unreal.
down here. I also drew this fancy
Yeah.
picture. I'll show you guys.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, that was fun. Nobody got to see that. But anybody else for the greater good? Does anybody have anything? I know coming up we have some stuff, but I'll get to that in a second. Anything?
Are we doing a podcast tomorrow?
I don't know. We'll talk work schedule later. As if we're getting paid for this. We're not on the
Asking
clock.
online.
But no, that's fine. Listen, obviously you can follow us on social media. It's at the Chunk Pod. But coming up on our Facebook, I think we're gonna wind up live streaming it to Facebook. I'll save it, post it to YouTube. So if you want to find the Chunk Podcast on YouTube, you can find us there, or find us on Facebook and like us there. We're gonna kind of do this live using Zoom, which is what we're familiarizing ourselves with tonight. But it's gonna be almost like a live podcast that's not going to be about topical stuff. It's going to be kind of like a fun, engaging like thing. I don't know. We're basically just going to be like fantasy football drafting for any kind of categories. It's just going to get really weird. It's going to be a lot of fun, and
I'm
we'll be
stoked.
we'll be doing it live, and you'll be able to see our beautiful faces. Nicky doing his thing right now. He's moving so fast. He's like a blur. I don't know how he was doing it, but anyway, you'll be able to see that coming up. Maybe this week, as soon as this weekend, probably Saturday at the latest. If we're, but we'll figure that out. I'll have to get with Reggie on that, and we'll get a schedule down. But
Specifically, Reggie.
yes, but we'll be on. Just be on the lookout for that. You'll find it there on the YouTube channel, and we'll still upload it. So if you're listening to this on like Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, you'll still be able to hear it, but there will be a live video version that you can see it if you'd rather ingest it that way, because there's a lot of stuff going out, and there's a lot of time on people's hands. So we're just trying to provide them with a little bit of content to their retinas, which is how I say retinas. Anyway, yeah, Nick. I say Nick. It's Nicky, but he's got his work name out here, so Nick Juice. Vince, David, Reggie, thank you guys for hopping on. And
Thank you, my friend.
I guess after that
Hey,
last
man,
topic.
thanks for having me, man.
Oh.
It's been an honor, and I fully appreciate it. It means the world to me. I swear to God. Okay, there it is. That's my cue.
Yes, I'm going to play you out, but I appreciate you guys being on. We'll obviously be back in the near future. So again, be on the lookout at the Chunk Pod. You'll see all of our live videos. Thank you guys for jumping on, and we'll be talking soon about work schedules, right?
Yeah.
All right, see ya.